The silent enemy. It stalks you day and night. It is relentless in its attack. It will destroy everything in its path. Rust, corrosion, damage caused by one thing: salt, the silent enemy.
Rust and corrosion affects those on or near the coast. It also affects those from the snowbelt, where over 10 million tons of road salt is spread on our highways annually. Salt. It accounts for hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage each year in the United States. Introducing Soltex, the ultimate weapon in the war against salt damage. Not a cleaner or polish. Soltex is a rinsing flushing agent whose sole purpose is to remove salt. In fact, most cleaners contain salt agents as a building compound. Soltex will even remove the residue left by these cleaners. Soltex is easy to use. Just spray it on and let air dry. No rubbing or scrubbing is ever needed. Watch this graphic demonstration of salt damage in action. It will show how quickly rust and corrosion will start and how swiftly it destroys. These two bottles contain seawater. We add a small amount of Soltex to the bottle on the left. We then place identical nails into both bottles. After only 12 hours, rust and corrosion has already started to build on the untreated nail. After 24 hours, it's gotten much worse. And now look. Only 48 hours after the demonstration began, and the untreated nail is useless. But look at the nail treated with Soltex. 48 hours, and it's still as good as new. Even better, because Soltex will leave a protective coating to prohibit rust and corrosion from ever starting. Salt damage is a daily hazard when you live near the coast. More so when you make your living on or even in the water. Listen to what these experts have to say about Soltex.
My name is John DeMichelle, and I've been a scuba repair technician for about 10 years now. And one thing we found is that salt can be a real problem as far as dive gear is concerned. Here we have a valve that once again has been used in salt water that is typical for this area. And you'll see that there's a fair amount of corrosion all around the valve from the salt. As a repair technician, we find that this is one of the considering factors for failures of valves. And by using Soltex on a regular basis, your valve sits in a condition more like this, where everything is nice and clean. Your failure rate ends up being much less. Your repair rate ends up being much less. Here at Recreational Dive Center, we use Soltex in our rinse buckets for rinsing gear down at the end of dives. We find that by using a couple ounces in a bucket of water, it removes the salt from our dive gear and also leaves a protective coating to protect it from salt in the future.
Hi, I'm Captain Joe Shute. I run a bait and tackle shop and a reel repair service. One of the worst enemies of your reels is salt and corrosion. Anytime you're fishing around salt water, you're going to have this problem. This is salt and corrosion on this reel right here. It's just an example on the handle and on the reel seat. One way to slow this corrosion up or maybe even stop it is to use Soltex. Soltex is a product that will dissolve salt. It won't correct problems that salt and corrosion have already caused on your reel, but if you spray them down when you come back from a fishing trip, it'll actually leave a film on your reel and it'll help prevent salt and corrosion from returning on your reel. So maybe you can do away with some of these problems and your reels will last a lot longer.
Soltex is economical because it's a super concentrate. Just mix 2 ounces of Soltex per gallon of water. That's why Soltex costs just pennies per use. But the true value of Soltex is in the money saved. Extended use in the field has shown savings as much as $900 in repair and replacement costs for every $1 spent on Soltex.
Your claim of extending the life of my snow removal equipment was understated. The introduction of Soltex to the municipalities can save cities and towns of the Commonwealth a great deal of money.
As one military officer quoted,
Soltex does everything it was designed to do, and we need it to become part of our inventory. You will literally save us millions.
Since I've started using Soltex, I simply give my rods and reels a light spray at the end of each day, and this has totally eliminated the salt buildup on my rods and reels and the corrosion buildup in all moving parts, including the rollers and our guides. Problem solved.
Look at the damage salt has done to this fishing and boating equipment. The reels, rod holders, nets, anchor, and even this gas tank has pitted and corroded. Now that's dangerous. Although Soltex cannot correct past damage, it will eliminate existing salt and prohibit salt damage from reoccurring. Soltex has been tested and found to have no adverse effects on monofilament line. There's no chemicals to attack grease or oil in reels and will not cause fading of paints or fabrics. Don't confuse Soltex with petroleum-based products. These do not remove salt. Only Soltex can. If you must use them, rinse with Soltex first to get rid of the salt. Covering large areas is quick and easy using our auto mix unit. Simply attach the auto mix unit to a faucet. Attach your garden hose. Drop the siphon hose into your container of Soltex concentrate and turn the water on. Now you can rinse your boat, motor, fishing equipment, lawn equipment such as tractors, mowers, chainsaws, weed eaters, air conditioning units, literally the entire house. Look at the salt buildup on these untreated glass doors. But the glass door treated with Soltex is crystal clear. Flushing outboard engines is just as easy. Attach your engine flush kit to your hose and connect to your engine as you normally do. Turn on the water and start your engine. Let the water cycle through the motor for 15 to 30 seconds. Soltex and your auto mix unit have now flushed your engine of salt. Coastal storms bring airborne salt inland by many miles. This salt literally burns all vegetation. Some trees and bushes die from this. The lucky ones just get scarred. Soltex can prevent this from happening. Regular rinsing will remove salt from trees and decorative shrubs. This will help ensure their natural beauty for years to come. The lab reports are in, and it's conclusive. Soltex is environmentally safe, non-toxic, USDA authorized, rated A1. Soltex gives you peace of mind guarantee for safety to people, pets, and the environment. But don't underestimate the power of Soltex. As safe as it is, it will remove even the harshest of salt buildup. That's why the United States military uses Soltex. They found it extremely effective in reducing salt damage and decreasing downtime of equipment. Soltex is fast becoming an integral part of their preventative maintenance program. From aircraft carriers to zippers, wherever salt is a problem, Soltex is the solution. Soltex, the only choice for performance, safety, and economy in fighting salt damage. With Soltex, just spray on and let air dry, and you too can start saving thousands of dollars. Remember, wherever it's a problem, Soltex is the solution.